Hello students, welcome to mathematics class. Students, this is part 15 of the chapter number system. In this part 15, we will continue finding square root of a positive real number. Children, we have seen yesterday finding roots of a positive real number such as x geometrically with the help of root 9.3. Showing it or marking it on the number line. Today we will go for the generalization to find root x geometrically. To do this, first of all we need to mark the distance of x unit, let's say from point A on the number line, so that AB is x units. We have constructed this sort of a figure. Now here I have on a number line A to B, this line segment length I have considered as x units. And whereas later this line segment AB from A to B, which is of x units, extended by one more unit, that is from B mark a point C with the distance of 1 unit, so that BC is 1 unit. Then with the help of a pair of compasses, we found the midpoint of AC line segment. So take a midpoint of AC and mark it as O. Then here OC is the radius of the semicircle, that what I have drawn, taking O as the midpoint, OA or OC as the radius. We have constructed a semicircle. After constructing a semicircle, we went for drawing a perpendicular at point B using a pair of compasses. You have seen that, how to construct. So from point B, draw a perpendicular BD which intersects semicircle at a point D. Here the length of BD, this B to D, is of root x units. With the help of this BD length, which is of root x units, we will go for showing it on a number line. So with the help of BD length, taking the point B as the number 0, where C becomes the number 1, taking point B as the center, BD length as the radius, we will mark a point E on the number line using a pair of compasses. This BE distance is of the root x units, thus point E represents number root x. So to mark the position of root x on the number line, we will take AC as the number line. This is the AC. So AC will take it as a number line, and with B as 0, so C becomes a point 1 on the number line, and number E, which is of the distance or length BD, being B taken as a center, BD as a radius, will draw an arc on the number line where it intersects at point E. This point E is root x on the number line, where A represents in the negative direction, which is x units away. So that's why A represents minus x. Okay, very important, what you have to observe that. Then coming to the proof of the length BD is root x in this figure. How to prove that BD length is root x? For that, first I am writing the units of line segments AB or length of the line segment AB, BC, where x is the length of or x units will be the length of AB, 1 unit is the length of BC. Therefore, AC, which is the sum of AB and BC, is the length of AC is x plus 1 units. Now, you know that OA or OC is half of AC, which implies x plus 1 by 2 units, and OB, this is the OB distance, which is the difference between OC and BC, O to C minus B to C. OC is x plus 1 by 2. From that I have to subtract BC, which is 1 unit. So here LCM is 2. This x plus 1 numerator comes as it is. This 1 in 2 for 2 times. So this numerator multiplied by 2 minus 2 ones are 2. It implies, so x plus 1 minus 2 by 2 is the length of OB. Let me continue here. OB is x plus 1 minus 2. Plus 1 minus 2 becomes minus 1. So x minus 1 by 2 is the length of OB. Now, you know the length of OA, or I say OC, which is the radius of this semicircle. So, radius of this semicircle is known as x plus 1 by 2 centimeter. We will go for constructing OD. By constructing OD, it gives a triangle called right triangle, right angled at B. So in right triangle OBD by Pythagoras theorem, we have BD square is equals to OD square minus OB square. So we will use these equations 1 and 2 in next slide. Now BD square is equals to OD square minus OB square. Here OD, again it is also radius. If that is also radius, radius of a semicircle is x plus 1 by 2, that I can use. Since OD is radius of a semicircle. We will substitute x plus 1 by 2 whole square instead of OD minus we already found OB as x minus 1 by 2. I am substituting x minus 1 by 2 instead of OB. Now by simplifying this, x plus 1 by 2 whole square can be written as x plus 1 whole square by 2 square, which is 4, minus x minus 1 whole square by this 2 square is 4. We know a by b whole square is a square, that is numerator square, upon separately denominator square. Okay, this you learnt in your class 8th squares and square roots chapter. Then moving further here, 4 is the denominator for both these. So common LCM is 4 only. It becomes now x plus 1 whole square minus x minus 1 whole square. This is the length of BD square. Children, here we have to recollect two important identities. One is a plus b whole square, another is a minus b whole square. What is a plus b whole square? It is a square plus 2ab plus b square. What is a minus b whole square? It is a square minus 2ab plus b square. If you know these two identities, we are using them and simplifying this. Okay, but how I will simplify? Watch it. Using a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square. Straight away I am using that. That means a square plus 2ab b plus b square. From that I have to subtract a square minus 2ab plus b square. I have to do subtraction. So when I am doing subtraction of an algebraic expression from the another algebraic expression, symbols of the subtrahend will change. Here subtrahend is down below. This becomes minus, this becomes plus, and this becomes minus. Plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus. Okay, so a square minus a square cancels, b square minus b square cancels, plus 2ab plus 2ab becomes plus 4ab. So a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is 4ab. This is also one of the identity which you have to remember in class 9th. In class 8th you learnt only a plus b whole square separately, a minus b whole square separately. Now on that some more applications you have to take them as identities only. A plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is 4ab. That is the way we are using here. X plus 1 whole square minus x minus 1 whole square is 4 times of x into 1, because here a is x, b is 1, by 4 is bd square. Now 4 into x into 1, here 4 into x into 1 is 4 only, and 4 and this 4 cancels. That's how it becomes here bd square is x, bd is root under x, which we wanted to prove. We proved it. Okay, thus proved. Okay, this is how we do it. Children, let us move on to the application of this. Okay, here very important. So far we have seen representing or marking square root of a number, that is positive real number, on a number line. Now we will extend it, the idea of square roots, to cube roots, and to further fourth roots, and to further fifth roots, and in general nth roots, where n is a positive integer. Where n is a positive integer. You know, in exponent form, this is exponential form. Which is exponential form? Let me take exponential form and radical form. First, do you know what is cube root of 8? This cube root of 8, it is called radical form. We have learned in cubes and cube roots chapter, it is called radical form. And when I convert that radical form into exponential form, this becomes 8 to the power 1 by 3. 8 to the power 1 by 3. You know, 1 by 3 is power, 8 is base, where 8 can be written as 2 cube whole power 1 by 3. It implies, using laws of exponents, 2 power 3 into 1 by 3, it becomes 3 into 1 by 3 is 1. So 2 raised to the power 1 is the value of cube root 8. That's how we got cube root of 8 is positive and cube root of 8 is 2, since someone's cube, some positive numbers cube is 8. Okay, some positive numbers cube is 8. Here I am trying to erase all. Here this is radical form of 8 power 1 by 3, which is exponential form. Okay, you know, radical form and exponential form of cube roots, which you have learnt in your class 8th. Okay, converting from exponential form into radical form, I have shown it. Then let us try fifth root of, we read it as fifth root of 243. What is the value of fifth root of 243? Convert it into exponential form. If you convert it into exponential form, 243 whole power 1 by 5. You know, 243, if you prime factorize it, it becomes 3 to the power 5. 3 to the power 5 whole power 1 by 5. Using laws of exponents, a power m whole power n is a power m into n. It becomes 3 to the power 5 into 1 by 5, where 5 ones and 5 ones cancels it. 3 power 1 will be the value of this fifth root to power 243, that is 3. Okay, here do you know that some number b such that b power 5 is 243 and that b is 3. The method of finding also you have learnt in your class 8th for cube roots. For 5th roots I have explained you similar procedure. Now children, after continuing this, we will go for generalization of nth roots. With these examples, you can now define nth root some positive real number. Let's say that positive real number is a, nth root a. You know here nth root a, where a is a positive real number and n is also a positive integer. N is a positive integer. There are names in this radical form. This is called radical form of a to the power 1 upon n. This is called exponential form. Okay, this is exponential form. From this exponential form, we have converted into radical form. In exponential form, a is called base, 1 by n is called power. 1 by n put together completely, 1 by n is power. Whereas in this nth root a, is called radicand and n, only n. Watch it, here 1 by n is power, here only n, which is a positive integer. N is called index. The very important note is this index cannot be 1. Index should not be 1. It is not equals to 1. It is any positive integer starting from 2. More than 1 means starting from 2. Okay. Square roots. Inbuiltly that square root where n is 2. Okay. That you have to remember. Now we will go for defining this. You can pass the screen and write down here in this radical form nth root a is called radicand, n is called index, where n is a positive integer being not equal to 1. Okay, and this symbol is called radical sign. It is called radical sign. You can pass the screen and write down all this. After that, I will go for defining. Now we shall see the definition. Let a be any positive real number or a greater than equals to 0 be a real number. You can say n is any positive integer and n not equals to 1. Then nth root a is written something equal to b, nth root a is equals to b if b to the power n is equals to a for some positive real number b. Okay, this is the definition mathematically. Okay, mathematically, you know, already have seen cube root of 8 is 2, since 2 cube equals to 8. Fifth root of 243 is 3, since 3 to the power 5 is 243. Okay, where this 3 also should be positive. Already we have a condition for 243 being positive, and index being positive integer, this 243 being positive real number. Here whatever I get, the result, that should also be positive. Okay, that is condition. Now let's go for here some identities using square roots. We shall list those identities relating to square roots which are useful in various ways. We will see the applications of them. You are already familiar with some of these from your earlier classes also. In your class 8 you have learnt those formulae, some of the formulae. The remaining ones follow from the distributive law of multiplication over addition of real numbers, and from another important algebraic identity, x plus y into x minus y is x square minus y square for any real numbers x and y. Let us list those identities. If p and q are two positive real numbers, first one, root under p into q is separately written as root p into root q. This we have already learnt in class 8. Root under p by q can be separately written root p by root q. Numerator, to that root it comes separately, to the denominator root separately comes. So root of p by q is root p by root q. Now we are using identities, algebraic identities, to form some more identities on square roots. Third one is, I have used x plus y into x minus y is x square minus y square, where x is here root p, y is here root q. So root p plus root q multiplied by root p minus root q becomes root p whole square, which is p, and root q whole square, which is q. So root p whole square becomes p, root q square becomes q, so p minus q comes here. Okay, I used identity x plus y multiplied by x minus y gives x square minus y square identity. Now moving on to the similar one where here x is p but y is root q. So p plus root q into p minus root q is p square minus root q whole square. Instead of root q whole square, q comes. Further, root p into root q multiplied by root s into root r plus root s. Here root p into root r is root pr, root p into root s is root ps, root q into root r is root qr, root q into root s is root qs. We are using distributive property. Here another important identity is I am using a plus b whole square identity, where a is root p, b is root q. So a plus b whole square, you know, a square plus 2ab plus b square, that's how it becomes p plus 2 into root pq plus q. Similarly, have another identity where root p minus root q whole square, I am using a minus b whole square identity, that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So p minus 2 times of root pq plus q. You can pause the screen and note down these important identities related to square roots, and I will give you one example where I apply these identities. Rest of the things we will see in our next class. Here simplify 3 plus root 7 into 5 minus root 11. Here I am applying here root p plus root q into root r plus root s, where instead of root p I have p, instead of r I have root r, I have r, because they are not under roots. Similar things only, pr plus p into root s, root q into r plus root q into s, they both under root only comes. So this is how we do 3 5s are 15 minus 3 into root 11 root 7 plus into plus plus root 7 into 5 is 5 root 7 plus into minus is minus, root under 7 into 11 is 77. So this is the answer. Okay, we will come to know further some more applications in our next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Jai Hind. Thank you.